Uh-oh. Is this them?
Yourself off mute.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, there you go. Your appearance, please.
Yes, David Stein, Wilentz Goldman, and Spitzer appearing for the debtor fast track trading.
Thank you. And by
Okay,
way
we're
of
live.
introduction, who do you have with you?
I have on the phone Scott Trieste, the managing member of the debtor.
Is Scott on? Does he have? All right, Scott, can
All
you
right,
turn on
we're
your
we're going,
camera,
boys.
please?
Cameras
This
on,
is
sir?
Fast Track
There you
Trading.
go.
Look at our
Okay, I
good
see you.
buddy Scott.
Thanks.
Welcome home.
Okay, Scott. You have any objection with being sworn?
No, sir.
You raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony here this morning?
I do.
Okay. By way of introduction, let me have your name, address, and your position with Fast Track Trading LLC.
Scott Trieste, 1700 Tilton's Corner Road in Wall, New Jersey, 07719. I'm the former founder and CEO of Fast Track Trading.
Okay. Now, what kind of
Rip.
business was Fast Track Trading?
Fast Track Trading provided a platform for virtual and simulated trading in the United States futures market.
And when did it start?
May 20th, 2024.
And when did it cease operating?
November 7th, 2024.
Now, just for the record, for everyone else on here, Scott, we have met on 2 occasions
Correct.
previous to this hearing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Once at counsel's office for a briefing on what the business was, what the situation was, the location of assets. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then we met on another time to pick up an asset at the Wall residence. Is that correct?
Correct.
No, a third time. You mentioned
3 times, right. You picked up the car.
pick up the collectible.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh dear.
All right. The vehicles of the debtor. How did these vehicles purchases work, and for what purpose, and what was the disposition of these
Sure.
assets?
At its onset, I had a vision to create a sister company to Fast Track Trading. And again, this was all if I had my druthers and if the company kept continuing at the pace of growth that it was, we were going to create a subsidiary sister company to Fast Track Trading called EHT Motorsports. And EHT Motorsports was going to basically offer luxury, if not super level class cars at a daily rental rate. So somebody coming down to the beach on a Tuesday in the summertime could rent. The thinking was any one of our cars through a third party app. In terms of how we acquired those cars, we generally looked for things that depreciated between 40 and 70% from its MSRP. We found the cars online. Myself and a colleague or two would go look at them, assess them, decide whether they were a good deal or not, and we'd buy it. Of the 9 or 10 cars that we bought, about 75% came from Fast Track Trading funds, and we owned the cars outright. We didn't take any debt and acquired the car. And of the, like I said, the 9 or 10 that we had, almost all of them ended up untitled and useless once the company disbanded, because no rental company actually was ever created, and the cars effectively were used by my employees as a basically rather than rent. We were doing a lot of traveling. Every week we'd have 7, 8, 10 guys or girls at our New Jersey office, and we basically used the cars as internal company transportation, and never once did we like I said, continue or complete the formulation of the rental car company. We used them internally until they were all sold.
So they
Okay.
basically bought
Now,
cars with
I'm
your
gonna ask you
payout
some
money.
specific
That's what
questions about
happened.
some specific vehicles.
Sure.
And then everyone
The
was just using the
2017
cars to transportation?
Correct.
Okay,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
titled to your wife.
It's titled to my wife and was acquired long before the company started.
So that vehicle was purchased before the May 24th date, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Don't lie, Scott.
Now, how about the 2017 Porsche?
That was bought June or July, shortly after the company started.
Saturday night.
Scott, could you hold on a second? Folks, whoever's out there, kindly keep yourself on mute, please. We can hear everything you're saying, okay? Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Scott.
That wasn't me.
The Porsche was, again, a personal car bought with personal funds and titled on around July or August.
Yeah, a lot of rookies out by.
Okay, so the Porsche was purchased from personal funds?
Personal funds, yeah.
And personal funds meaning
that were
yours,
payout.
your wife's?
Yes.
Which one?
Both.
Both. So this was from joint money.
Correct.
And
You know
was it
how
sold?
bad? You know how bad
It was
I want to
sold.
unmute
when
myself
was it
and
sold?
say,
A couple of weeks
"Welcome
ago.
home."
Review of the traffic.
A couple
I
weeks
wanna do it
ago,
so
would
bad.
that be after the filing of the bankruptcy?
Yes.
Okay. How much did it sell for?
29,000, 30,000.
29K?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fly, just fly.
If,
But you can fly RI.
folks, let me repeat myself again. Anybody out there, please keep yourself on mute. Please.
Electrical services. They could go to electrician, any home or
Chris.
business in Rhode Island. Visit us.
Oh, Chris is messing it up.
Okay. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm
Sorry.
sorry, everybody else, for the interruption.
Chris, come on,
Scott, a
Chris.
2014 Land Rover, Range Rover.
You can
Correct.
tell there's a lot of
That's titled
there's
to
a
your
lot
wife.
of rookies on here.
When was
Yes.
that purchased?
Yeah, he's
Probably
going
around
to
the
boot
same time,
everybody if this
August.
keeps happening.
August of 24.
Correct.
But why
Now,
does he
was
not
that
put himself
purchased
where
with
he's the
company
only
money?
Anyway,
So
whatever.
that was purchased partially with company money and partially with personal funds, and the funds that were used from that car, I took as
exactly
compensation
traitorous chick.
against a reconciliation in New Jersey taxation called owner draw.
Okay. All right, let's just step back. So you sold the you purchased
seeing
it
a
in
big
August
pullback
of
here.
24, and when did you sell it?
Probably I didn't say that.
Excellence and integrity. They always have a supervisor on duty. Professional security services has an extensive range of security and surveillance services. If you need that.
Okay.
Business.
Scott, I hate to do
Security
this. I'm
officers,
going
armed
to
guards, and mobile patrols. So if you're putting on
start putting
events,
people on mute.
these are the folks. They are
Okay.
well, they're professional security service, and so they are
Who
the
is
utmost
not
professionals.
muted?
And they've
Click on the right
established
guy.
a superior
Chris.
surveillance workforce. Professional security services. They're local. And
Boot
they're
him.
loyal, trustworthy, and they have a highly trained
Chris.
staff. Now, why call anybody else, right? Professional security services will
Oh
take
my
you
God.
anywhere,
We're going to all
anytime.
get booted because of
Years
Chris.
ago, I went. I've been talking
You,
about them
right there,
for quite
you.
some time. They
What are you doing, Chris?
I think I might have got it. Okay.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry, Scott.
gosh.
No problem.
Chris, you're
All
killing
right, so
me.
purchase 824 with partial funds from the company. How much was it purchased for?
In the low 30s somewhere, maybe 33,000, 30,000.
33K, and sold for how much?
Chris is
11.
11K.
Yeah.
And when was it sold?
Same thing about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, after the filing of the bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now there's a 2010 Bentley Continental,
Correct.
and that's titled to your wife.
Yeah, we bought that the same day, and it's from the same place as the Range Rover.
So
And
that you purchased that 824-ish.
around then, yeah.
How much did you pay for that Bentley?
About the same price. It was not expensive. It was about 30 grand. Mid
30
30s.
grand. And then when
Mid
did you
30s.
Who
sell
buys a 2010
that Bentley?
Bentley?
I have not sold that yet. I have money to pay against its service, and I have not.
Okay, so where's it located?
It's in Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
Oh
All
dear.
right, I'm sorry, Scott. It's located where?
In Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
And what's the name of the place?
Island something? Island Motorworks, maybe?
Island Motorworks.
Island Motorworks. Let me
And how
Google
much
that.
do you owe there?
About 8 grand.
He still
Okay.
owes 8 grand on it.
And that was purchased with company money?
Well, blended company. and
Blended.
personal.
Okay.
It was blended, guys. Blended.
All right. And just for the record, we took possession of the other Bentley
Right.
at your home, I don't know, a week and a half ago or so. And that's already up for public auction coming up in several weeks. The 17 Maserati, which is titled to you.
Uh-oh.
When was
That
that
was-
purchased?
Uh-oh.
September of 2024.
September.
With company money?
Yes.
That's when the payouts were even being delayed and he bought a Maserati? What a
And has that vehicle been sold?
Oh yeah, that was sold in December,
sold in December.
possibly end of November.
Sold December of 24. How much did you sell it for?
20,
20. How much did you buy it for?
26, 27.
He bought a Maserati for 26,000.
All right.
Oh my.
Then we moved to the
What?
2020 Maserati, which was titled to you.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
When was
I
that
need
purchased?
to interview this guy.
Same time around August.
August 24 for how much?
28 grand, 29 grand, the same as the other.
I mean,
Okay. And that was purchased with company money?
Correct.
this company money.
And
Oh, this is just
was that vehicle sold?
old luxury cars.
And when was that
exactly.
sold?
Did it
December.
have an engine?
And who was it for how much?
20,000, 19,000.
And who was it sold to?
Carvana.
Carvana?
Okay. All right. So it wasn't sold to an insider or
He sold it
No.
to
okay,
Carvana.
or a relative.
No.
Just backing
Oh,
up
I'm
on
dead.
the other Maserati that was sold in December for 20K. Who was
Yep.
that sold to?
Carvana.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Joey B. Joey B.
Were
Shut
all
it
these
down.
vehicles
Don't
sold that
say
way?
it.
Yes. All the vehicles you mentioned were sold that way. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, and then just again, on the list, the one vehicle that was titled.
Hey, you're muted.
Hey Jack, I can't hear you.
I'm in possession of. Okay.
Hello? Jack,
I can't
John.
hear you. I lost your audio.
Jack, I can't hear you at all.
Wow, we're seeing a rip higher here.
Can't hear you.
Joey B, shut it down. Don't do it, Joey B. Don't do it, Joe B. Yeah, it might be. It's okay. I see. So this guy was buying $28,000 luxury cars and sports cars for $28,000 and then reselling it on Carvana. Oh, I'm just dying. I'm dying, man. This is too funny. I just
Now,
have to
David.
think.
I can hear you now.
Okay,
wow.
we're back.
I was
Sorry, I
afraid
don't want to
that-
interrupt more than I have to.
Lost your video though.
Come on, John, get it together.
Okay.
There we
There
go,
you are.
John.
All right.
There you go. Joey B, you're in the danger zone. You need to be
Okay.
muted.
Now just stepping back staying with these vehicles. There was a G-Wagon in 2015.
Yep.
And that was registered to your wife.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. And when was that purchased?
July.
Of 24?
Correct.
For how much?
40,000, 44,000, something like
Ooh,
that.
44? Wow.
Okay. And when was it sold, if it was?
It was sold in December in the mid to low 30s.
Please tell me
Low
Carvana.
30. And who was it sold to?
Carvana.
Okay. Now
Carvana's
this
getting some free publicity.
2015 Benz, was that purchased with company money?
Yes, it was.
He was company money. Payout
Moving
funds.
to a 2020
Welcome home, folks.
McLaren.
Yes.
When was that purchased?
September, late August, early September of
24.
2024. Yeah.
How much did you purchase?
There's the McLaren about 165,000.
Okay.
And that was blended funds.
All right, but it was
funds were
registered to the company,
blended.
though, correct? Oh, and you.
It was not.
Registered to both of you. The company and you.
The company
It was not
was
registered as
blended. He put
the
cash
DMV
into a
search comes up,
blender
registered
and he
Fast
blended
Track
it,
and Scott.
and then he took that money to buy
Right.
the cars.
Right.
Oh dear, this is
So
good
you're
stuff,
saying this
Scott.
was
Good
used-
stuff.
Blended
This was blended
money
funds.
used to purchase this. How much of this was company money?
About 130, 135.
Okay.
130 of it was company money. There go your payouts,
And
guys.
was
Rip.
it sold?
Yes.
And when was it sold?
December.
I'm gonna guess he got
December
140 for it.
For how much?
105.
105.
And who was it sold to?
A private buyer
Oh,
in New York.
private
Private
buyer. We
buyer
need
in
more
New York.
info. That ain't gonna cut it, John.
And was this private buyer in New York a personal friend, an acquaintance, or a relative?
No.
We need
Then there's
more
the
info.
white 2021 BMW 7 Series,
It was sold to Carvana in December.
December of 24 for how much?
50 something thousand, 55,000, something like that.
Okay. And,
Carvana stock just went up.
Let's back up. When did you buy it?
Sure.
Hey, hi, Alpine Gang.
But same day I bought same time we got the McLaren and the Maserati.
The
The
same guy.
Levantes.
Oh, we need to know who this guy was.
Like September
Okay.
from the same dealer.
Okay. So how much did you pay for it?
That's 70.
70. Now that when it shows up on a search, registered to Fast Track and you, Scott.
Okay.
And was this blended money, company money, your money?
That whole transaction was blended. Used about 30 to 40,000 of my own money, and the remaining from the company.
More blended
So about
money,
half-
folks.
About half of each.
A third.
I mean,
Okay.
this guy was buying a used car dealership with your
Now
funds.
we picked up 2 vehicles in
Your
Florida,
funds.
correct?
That's insane.
Correct.
And that was I don't have it in front of me a Maserati and another 535 BMW, correct?
Correct.
And they are titled to the company, correct?
Title to me.
Titled to you.
Bye.
And
Joe.
you purchased those cars with company money, correct?
Yes.
We
You're a
did
bad
the
boy, Scott.
auctioneers meet with you yesterday in Florida?
They didn't. I texted them twice. We're going
Exactly,
to catch up with
Kellyanne.
them today
Would
to
you be
sign.
that kind? Because I think I know here in New Jersey we always sign the back of the title, but I think it's different in Florida. You have to sign as the seller in 2 places. So I thought these were titled to your wife, though.
They are. I'm sorry. I missed them. Yeah, they
Okay.
are.
I just want to clarify
Put
that.
him in
So
jail.
we need your wife's signature. She signed on the back and needs to
Yep.
sign on the front, or vice versa.
Sure.
His
okay.
poor wife.
And also, I know when I first met with you, we talked about the electronic title that you had on the other car.
Correct.
Have you received that from Tallahassee or wherever you received
I've not. I ordered it.
Okay. And if when you do get there, would you be kind enough to have, I'm assuming it's titled to your wife is the word we
Just
got.
sign it and transfer it over. No problem.
Just sign it to, and then make sure you send it to David, and then he'll get it to us, okay?
Of course. No problem.
Yeah, you do
Because
that, Scott.
the problem's
You be a
going to
good
be
boy.
when we sell it, whoever buys it is going to want that title. So we'd appreciate your cooperation on that.
Not a problem at all.
Scott's been known to be a man of his word, John.
Okay,
Don't worry.
the Ferrari.
Yeah.
The F430.
Correct.
When was that purchased?
July or August.
Company money?
Blended
Blended.
company in my funds.
Now, when you say your funds, were you receiving income from the company that you had this kind of cash to move?
Yep.
Okay.
How much?
And how much did you pay for the F430 at the time in August?
100.
100?
Just an even
How much
100.
did you sold it?
Yeah.
And how much did you sell it for?
60.
60.
60,000.
60.
Ooh.
And when did you sell it?
The same day and the same person I sold the McLaren to, a private buyer in New York.
All right. And you have the name of that private buyer?
I do.
All right. Would you be not kind enough to supply that and any address or contact number you have?
I will find it.
The party to David. And how much did you said you sold it around December of 24 for $60K?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that private buyer needs to be investigated 100%. Private buyer equals Daryl and John from Apex. Just kidding.
All right, Scott, is there any other vehicles we didn't talk about?
No.
Don't lie,
No.
don't lie, Scott. Don't do it.
All right. I just want to clarify some parties, okay?
Sure.
Danielle Bumper is your wife, correct?
My wife, correct.
And
Bless her
she
heart.
was an employee of the company, correct?
She was.
Oh,
And Catherine, same last name as yours. How is she related to you?
My mom and
Mom.
oh dear Lord.
Michael is my father and early onset investors in the company.
Okay.
His
Were they
mom
ever
and
employees
dad
of
are
it?
involved in this?
Not directly.
Okay. And how much did they loan the company?
In the low hundreds of thousands,
Okay.
What?
And they were repaid?
partially.
Okay. How much were they repaid?
It's about 70,000.
So about 70%-ish?
No. I said about 70,000.
Yeah, okay. Laura Moe. Who's that?
My sister.
Sister.
Oh my God.
And
So
was
he
she
had his
also
wife,
an
his
employee?
mom, his dad, and his
She was a
sister.
contractor.
Oh,
Contracting for what?
Twofold. It just delineates, how she got a paycheck. I paid her through her company, which is called United Home Solutions.
United Home Solutions.
Oh,
But
now
she
it's
was,
getting
for all
interesting.
intents and purposes, a full-time employee like everybody else.
Okay. Jason Bennett.
Exactly, Kelly.
Jason Bennett was the later hire and was brought on as basically a recruiter, business analyst, kind of jack of all trades like everybody else, and moved into a senior level position. Basically became my chief of staff later on, but fairly close to when the company closed.
It's
Okay, is he
exactly
a
what
friend
I
of yours?
thought. These guys
Yes.
had no clue
Okay.
what they were doing. No clue
And how
what they
long
were
has he been
doing.
a friend of yours?
Since the 5th grade.
Wow. That's a couple weeks.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
actually
And
sad.
Dana Bennett, I'm assuming, is his wife,
She is.
and she was also an employee.
Correct.
Okay. And also a friend. Okay.
Yes.
Also a friend. Oh. And Grandma was the CEO.
How about Mike Ewing?
Mike Ewing was a previous employee. He's no longer employed or affiliated with us, at all.
He's the
Is he
guy
a
that
family
bought the
member or
cars.
friend?
No.
Okay. How about a party by the last name of you? Why you?
His first name, I could call him Wei.
Right.
Again, a former employee, not a friend. He was hired about a month before the company
Okay.
closed.
A month. Wait, was that?
How about Joshua Carrasco?
Wait.
Josh Carrasco
Was that
was
Sage?
a former software developer from Canada. Again, a contractor,
Uh-huh.
not a family member or a friend, but a previous employee.
Okay. And Charles Mule?
Charles Muley. Charles Muley was a friend. Again, no longer employed, but somebody I've known since the 10th grade.
Okay.
Of course, they're not employed.
Now, at any time, did the company buy any vehicles for anyone else?
Yes,
And who did they buy them for?
we bought a vehicle for my former COO, Angel Irizarry,
And what kind of vehicle did it purchase for them?
BMW 535,
What year, Scott?
maybe a 15, 16, 17 in that general.
Okay. So 15 to 2017. And how much did the company purchase the car for?
Between 15 and 20,000.
Man, what a
17,000 jumps
cheapskate.
out at me.
Okay. And the car, was it titled to the company or was it titled directly to the individual?
Title to the individual.
And this titling, purchasing the car for this party, was that in lieu of compensation? Was that why was it done?
For a number of reasons, namely, our people. We try to compensate our people very fairly. Some we were able to in the form of cash compensation, others via other incentives like base pay, stipends for living and the existing expense, and then others in the form of a car. Angel chose a car as a way to augment his compensation. A cash bonus wasn't going to work for him at the time, so
Okay.
we opted to get him a car.
Why?
Okay. And when did you approximately do this? What month in 24?
Probably July or August.
July, August?
Okay.
Now, did you purchase any vehicles for any other employees?
Not for them. We paid off some folks' car loans.
Okay, so one of your employees had a vehicle, they had a car loan, and the company paid that individual's balance off.
Right.
And who was that?
The first being my sister,
It is sad.
Laura Moe.
How
I paid
sad.
off 2 car loans. The company paid off 2 car loans for her.
And what kind of cars?
A Dodge and an Audi.
A Dodge and an Audi. What are the years on the Dodge and the Audi? Do you know the
Offhand,
make or the model?
offhand, I don't know.
Okay. And how much do you think the company paid in these 2 loan payoffs?
30 grand, 35 grand.
Total?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this guy was taking customer funds and just
and
doing with it
anyone else?
whatever he wants.
I paid off car loans. The one that jumps out at me is for one of my former employees. His name is Kareem.
Kareem.
He was a senior member of the firm. I paid off his 2 car loans as a way to increase his total compensation.
Okay. And about when did you do that, Scott?
Yep,
September?
Kellyanne.
Maybe.
9 of 24?
Yeah.
And these 2 payoffs cost the company about how much?
40, 50 grand.
Jeez.
Okay. Now, any other vehicles?
Not that jumps out at me, no.
Okay. Did
Don't
you pay
lie,
off
Scott.
any loans for your wife or yourself?
Just some credit cards.
Ah,
Okay.
I mean, I did have some alimony to catch up on that the company picked up
child
pre-tax for
support.
me.
Okay. Okay. To a former spouse.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
gets worse and worse. I knew there was incompetence. I didn't know it was this
I'm
bad.
sorry, but I interrupted you. What did you say before that, Scott?
We paid off some credit card debt.
Yes, the credit card debt.
Yeah.
And who is it with?
Navy Federal.
Maybe.
Maybe
And
You
about
gotta
how
be
much did you
kidding
pay
me.
off?
not much. 10 grand.
10K?
Yeah.
Would you mind, and about when did you do that?
Same kind of time frame, September, October.
September, October 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you paid with a company check or
Just
company
the
funds?
electronic funds, yeah. But then I took that as compensation, though.
Okay, but we paid it from a business account?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you
Got
mind
him.
giving
Got him.
David that information on the
Everyone gets
the
paid
Navy
here.
Federal Credit
Welcome
Union
home.
account number and et cetera?
Where your
And
car loans
you'll
will be
receive that
paid.
anyway, because to look at funds that were appropriated after the filing, you need to see my personal statement. So I provided the ones germane to the usages.
Okay. Did the company pay any other credit cards during its term for you or your wife?
Probably. And
Okay.
it would be listed as in the books that the accountant has. It'd be listed as owner draw. I know that I did.
Okay. Well, it would help us if you could give us what those
Yeah,
credit
Eddie.
cards are,
Sure.
so we could track that back. And
Right.
now, during this 7-month period, how much credit card debt do you think you paid on you and your wife's behalf?
30.
30?
Did you pay any credit card debt for your parents, your sister, any friends?
Possibly. I mean, I definitely sent people who were involved with the company, paid off debt for them.
Okay.
Certainly myself and my wife.
Yeah, which adds up to about 30, you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for others, I mean, I know that I did exact payments off the top of my head. I couldn't tell you, but I know that I helped out a number of people.
All right. If you could reflect on
You
that
helped
when
out a
we
lot
get
of
off,
people, and
you could
because you
provide
took
that
other people's
information.
money to do it.
Because what happens when the financials come, it's a little bit like it's listed as a draw, but it doesn't help us what's behind the draw.
Got
If
it.
you drew that to pay somebody's credit card, then we'd need to know who it was and for
Yeah.
which credit card, account number,
Right.
etc.
Right.
He might as well
I can
be
provide all that.
honest, because when they go through the
And
financials,
did the company gift anything to anyone in the
Yeah.
form of money or assets or debt relief?
Yeah, a few employees we did that for.
Okay.
A few
And
employees.
I'm not going to pin you down right now because we're way behind.
Yeah.
If you could make a list of that and supply it through to David, and he'll get it to us.
Unreal.
Okay.
Sure.
So what we're looking for is you in essence gifted something to someone. They didn't do any work for it or et cetera. It's just a gift.
It's gonna come out when they
for
go through his
purposes
paperwork.
with debt relief. Yes.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
And then if he gets caught lying here, he's gonna be even more trouble.
The computers that were at the Red Bank location.
Yep.
Laptops.
Yep.
Do you have those?
We didn't collect laptops from employees when they left the company. We allowed them to keep them. I have a few computers and laptops and monitors that are.
Is there a hard drive to that?
I mean, they have hard drives in them. Yeah, of course.
Unbelievable.
Okay. I think our forensic financial guys will probably be in touch with you with regards to.
Oh yeah, those laptops are long gone.
And we know who your accountant is, and we'll be in touch with them to get all that background financials. Did the company maintain a safe?
No.
A safety deposit box? Scott, if you don't mind,
Ask him about his crypto.
But the recording
Ask about the crypto.
No, neither.
Okay. I know we're already in about going on 35, 40 minutes. This is a 341A creditors meeting. There's approximately 80 creditors on. I'm going to ask that if you wish to ask a specific question, not regarding the individual or the principal or anything to that extent, but a direct question about assets, what happened to them, anything that has to do with a business
I'm gonna
sense,
ask him.
Financials, etc. You're welcome to activate your video and ask this. You're going to have to give me your name and address, and ask the questions in brief, because we can't have 80 people go on for 5 or 10 minutes, if you know what I mean. We have a whole calendar behind you of cases. Dan, did you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll start it off. I've got a couple questions here. My name's Dan Hussey, A1A Parkway Drive, Wheaton, Illinois. The first question I wanted to ask is if
I
there
don't want to
was
give out my
a
address though.
general counsel with Fast Track Trading, and if that general counsel specifically ever advised bankruptcy to Scott and to senior level, and what the date of that advisory may have been.
Ask them
It
about the
was.
crypto.
The date of the advisory was October 19th.
I think we were pretty thorough on many of the assets that we were looking to get questions on. Let's see if I've got another list question here.
Yeah, the other problem is I'm not actually a creditor, so I
Dan, while
probably
you're thinking
shouldn't
that,
speak.
Scott, has the company ever owned any real estate?
No.
Have you ever owned
Yeah,
any
right.
real estate?
Me personally, in my name?
Yep.
No.
What? That's a
Okay.
lie.
And next up on my list here is, did FTT ever let users or receive payments via crypto?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
And how much were the total sums of those crypto transactions?
In terms of revenue, between 6.5 and $8 million.
Okay.
Total.
And did you use the proceeds from these asset sales to, did you buy any other crypto with company assets
Any other crypto
outside of the revenue streams, obviously, that were brought in?
You have to ask a more specific question. Are you referring to, did the company buy crypto for itself with the crypto it received?
Or with cash, that the money and revenue streams?
No.
Did the company buy any other crypto other than the crypto it received
No.
for payments of transactions?
Yeah.
No.
Liar.
And okay. And for whose benefit was the crypto? What wallets were they held in? And
We need his
what's
wallets.
the state of those wallets
All
now?
of them.
They were held in 2 wallets, both of which are empty and have been since the company closed, with the exception of a $5,000 transfer that was my own money.
But
Okay.
where?
And so did you buy any crypto personally with proceeds of asset sales?
Exactly.
No, not.
Oh.
No. I did not buy personal crypto with funds generated via asset sale or otherwise from Fast Track Trading.
You're lying.
Okay.
Just lied
Good,
under
Dan.
oath.
Yeah, I'm good for. Actually, does that include the asset sales of the cars that were discussed earlier?
All of the car funds were used for either attempted refunds or to further the company prior to the January 16th bankruptcy filing, which I produced statements to validate.
Yeah, ask him
Sure.
about
And
the
have you
Kohl's
produced
cash.
statements for all the attempted and otherwise produced refunds?
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's lying.
And then lastly, why were international clients left off of the initial bankruptcy filing
Purely
as creditors?
Purely an error. There was some information that was not as accurate as it should have been on the initial filing, which I'm working with counsel to amend. As you can understand, this is the first time I've had to do this. Getting through that documentation in the time frame needed, I should have been a little more careful. But like I said, I apologize for that, and an amended version of this document will get submitted in the next few business days.
Okay, and then how much in total refunds have you issued, and what were the approximate date range, right? That was, I know we're not going to go through all of them today, but like, when did they start going out and when did they stop? And what was the
Refunds.
approximate amount?
Sure. In total, the refund amount was probably around 175 to 180K, and they went out in December.
And then via the Rise blockchain, we're able to see most of the company transactions. What were in the final days of FTT? There were a number of transactions, many in the 5 to 6 figure range, going out to various payees that were close with the company. What were those gifts? What was the nature of those?
They were not gifts. I'm assuming you're referring to the amounts like 15,000, 25,000. Those amounts. There were 4 of them. Referring to those. Okay. They went to officers, and you'll see a line item in the disclosure statement around legal fees paid, $100,000. The funds that were sent to 3 individuals, one of whom were my wife, were used to get funds to them so that they could get bank checks and we could tender our retainer. It was done in short order. We were limited in terms of what banks we can access and how much money we could get, or I could get in an expedient fashion. So on that day, within minutes, you'll see a number of transactions. I think there were 2 of them for 25, one of them for 15, and maybe one of them for 6. They were all to officers of the company. And further on that afternoon, we went to their respective banks, got bank checks, and dropped them at Winelands, Goldman, and Spitzer to complete our retainer agreement.
Okay. There was also it's been brought to our knowledge that there was a FTT data leak that ended up doxing all of the clients. Why haven't the clients been notified under U.S. law of that data breach and doxing event? And is there any plan to notify all the former clients of it?
We are still looking into into that matter. We didn't overlook it at all, and I believe that we have 90 days by New Jersey state law to contact folks, and we will.
Oh my!
And then, do you use the alias Donald Trumpet on social media platforms?
I'm not on social media. My official
he's so full of it.
X and social media is either Wall Street Warrior or S3S_FTT.
Okay, you good, Dan?
Yeah, let me double check here.
All right, while you're double checking, let me circle back to you.
I like Dan.
Scott, for a couple. EH Holdings, LLC.
Yeah, ask about the watches
Does that
and the
have any
collectibles.
vehicles?
No.
That's registered
I'm
too?
gonna type in here.
Does that have any assets?
No.
Okay, and what was your date of marriage? The most recent one?
Don't tell my wife. I think September 24th.
Okay, of 24?
Yeah.
And where were you?
August 24th, maybe.
Where were you married?
Las Vegas.
And were you married in a hotel in some sort of
yeah, in a chapel in Las Vegas.
Okay, and where were you staying at in Las Vegas?
Caesars.
Caesars? Yeah. Did you take any parties with you from work?
A party lived in Las Vegas, and others met us there. After we got the day after.
How many?
One.
So it was only 2 people besides you and your wife?
No. One individual joined us because he lived in Las Vegas, and we had 7 or 8 others fly in.
And did the company pay for that?
Yeah, they did.
Who used the FTT wedding?
And did it pay for the food and everything else for?
Yes.
How long was this wedding? For another word, retreat.
Sure. In total, about 4 days.
4 days.
5 days.
How much did it cost the company?
Probably 50 grand, 60 grand.
Unreal.
And that was written. It was paid for by company
more
funds?
payout money.
Yeah.
Go on.
Did it pay for all the rooms and everything?
For everyone, correct.
For everyone, okay. I'm sorry, Dan, you're done, correct? Anyone else?
Let's see if he sees my
Okay, 'cause I
chat.
got 77 participants. Anyone else that would want to ask a question or two pertaining to financial matters to the principal of the debtor? Okay. With that said,
There's one.
I'm sorry. Your hand's up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Yes, Your Honor.
No, wait, let me interrupt you. I'm a bankruptcy trustee. I'm not a judge.
Okay.
I have a lot of black on, but I don't wear a robe and I'm not that smart. So
Very good.
go ahead.
This will be a quick question. I'm Billy Wilson. I'm here as a representative of not only myself, my mother, Thelma Haggard. I'm glad to see Scott on and glad to see that this matter being resolved. I only have one question, or maybe a two-part question, but as it relates to the finances of Fast Track, how much money was in cryptocurrency as a asset at the beginning of October 2024? And I guess the follow-up to that question is—
Wait, let him answer. Mr. Wilson, let him answer that one first and then do your second.
Yes, sir.
Fast Track Trading had no assets. So whatever crypto it received as form of payment is how much crypto it had. So in October,
that is an asset.
That was after our data issue and that second and third week in September. That's when a lot of Apex folks came over. To answer your question, backhanded number. If there in October there might have been 300,000, 400,000 in total crypto that we received for payment at that time, if I had to guess. Okay. And by that time, we had Rise working. So whatever crypto was in there was converted to USDC and sent to Rise.
Sent to where?
Okay. And I guess the follow-up question is, at the moment that there was the discussion or the determination that there would be a dissolution of Fast Track, how much crypto was moved at that time, which was available to pay out? How much of that was moved outside of the business?
Thousands. Outside of business, none.
Full. Okay. He's still full of it.
All right, thank you. Anyone else, just raise your hand.
It's not going to end well for him. The forensic analysts are going to find
the system does move a little
financial
slow,
they're going to find all this stuff.
Okay, Sean, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sean, but just activate your video, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Get him, Sean.
And then when you do, we just need your name and address.
Exactly, Kilo.
Okay, I'm going to need to disconnect because it needs access to the camera. Is that okay?
I don't know if you'll be here when you get back, but
okay.
Go ahead.
I'll attempt it.
Go ahead. Anyone else? Just raise your hand, please.
If I was a creditor, I think I would ask him about the watches and the collectibles.
So I'll give a minute or so to Sean to see if he comes back on.
Alpine, I'll identify as Alpine.
All right, Sean, can you hear me?
Man. The watches and the collectibles, no one's asked about that yet. I put a message in, but Sean, I don't think he sees it.
I'm going to give him a minute or two to call back in. Is there anyone else that would like to raise their hand?
I just want to chime in, and I just want to say, welcome home, Scott. He did seize them. They're up for auction. Oh, okay. I date you. I dare you.
Yeah,
okay.
A another minute or two.
Oh, I do want to do it.
I don't know if you'd be able to get back in.
I just
be
want
honest with you.
to welcome
Now that
home,
I say
Scott.
that. Because I'm
And-
getting emails from people that are in my later calendar that they can't get in.
I don't want to
Even
make
into
a
the
joke
waiting
of
room.
this though.
All right. What we're going to now do is conclude this 341 exam at this time. Scott, I appreciate your cooperation thus far and would greatly appreciate it going forward as we move ahead in this case. Of course, I have nothing but high regards for your counsel, one of the most competent bankruptcy attorneys in the state of New Jersey. So I know we'll do well with him. Okay. I'm going to conclude at this time. So if the folks who are here for fast track, if you do have a claim, you're allowed to file what's called a proof of claim with the United States Bankruptcy Court Clerk in Trenton to protect your claim. So if any assets are liquidated and a distribution is made to creditors, that you would share in that. Okay, but you only have a limited time to do that. And off the top of my head, I believe it is April 17th is the deadline. After that, you go into a different status, which would be tardy, and then that would put you in a weaker position. Okay. With that said, if everyone can start to leave the meeting, I have to stay on to do a couple more hours worth.
All right, sounds
Thank
like
you,
that's
Mr. Trustee,
it.
sir.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Mr.
And again, thank you to everyone else out there. You've been more than cooperative, and it's greatly appreciated.
We're going to sign off now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, there you have it. Welcome home.